Before men built empires, and before kings carved their names into stone, there lived a warrior whose destiny was decided before his first cry. His name was Achilles, son of the sea goddess Thetis and the mortal king Peleus. Born under a prophecy of greatness, his fate was stitched into the fabric of the world. He would either live a long, quiet life forgotten by history, or a short, blazing life remembered forever. Thetis, desperate to protect her son, dipped him in the sacred waters of the river Styx, holding him by the heel. The river blessed him with invulnerability, leaving only the small spot she could not touch the heel that would one day bear the weight of fate itself. Achilles grew faster, stronger, fiercer than any mortal. Under the wise guidance of Chiron, the centaur, he mastered every weapon, every strategy, every skill of war. Soldiers spoke his name in fear. Enemies fell before they could even draw breath. He was a storm incarnate, a mortal who carried the strength of a god. Then came the winds of war from the city of Troy. A single spark, a stolen queen, ignited a war that would last 10 long years. The Greeks sailed to the walls of Troy, but the tide of battle would be turned by one man, Achilles. Yet pride and honor, as always, were double-edged swords. When Agamemnon insulted him, Achilles withdrew from battle. He watched as comrades fell, as Troy flourished in his absence, his anger as sharp as any spear. It was the death of Patroclus, his closest companion, that shattered him. Patroclus donned Achilles' armor to rally the Greek soldiers and was struck down by Hector, the prince of Troy. A grief deeper than any wound ignited inside Achilles' fury, pure and unstoppable, coursing through his veins. He returned to the battlefield like a force of nature. Spears shattered against shields. Armies faltered before his wrath. Hector met him face to face, each strike of Achilles precise, deadly, terrifying. Dust rose, blood stained the ground, and the very earth seemed to tremble under his steps. Troy's walls could not withstand him. Victory, however, was hollow, for fate always has its cost. Even as the battlefield fell silent before his might, the prophecy lingered, unbroken. Achilles' heel, the one spot untouched by divine waters, was the shadow over his triumph. He fought not for kings, not for glory, but for the memory of a friend, for honor carved in fire and blood. In the end, as the sun cast golden light over the war-torn plains of Troy, Achilles stood alone among the fallen. He had lived, not for comfort, not for years, but for legend. Every swing, every charge, every act of courage had cemented his name into eternity. Empires would rise and fall, cities would crumble to dust, kings and warriors would fade. But Achilles? His name would endure, beyond stone, beyond time, beyond memory. He was not remembered for being invincible. He was remembered for choosing glory, knowing full well the cost. And that is how a man becomes immortal.